Let me start with something you wrote on Thursday and get you to explain it a bit further. You wrote this: "The best chance for our democracy lies not with the vain hope that Republican leaders will grow spines, but with Democrats' ability to show Americans that they do not have to settle for a government that's set up to fail." On one hand, that message sounds defiant, but I'll be honest with you, Senator, it sounds a bit vague. What are you calling for here in that declaration?
Well, it's not defiant, certainly, and it's prescriptive. If to build democracy, to save democracy, we need to make government work. That's why President Biden's Relief Act Repair Act is all about going big. We go big on unemployment benefits, on opening schools and putting shots in people's arms and money in people's pockets and workers and jobs. That's what this proposal does. That's why the House passed it. It's what voters voted for in November. It's what the Senate will do.
There's another way to read your statement. It sounds like you're saying, forget bipartisanship. It's not worth it.
No, I always try to be bipartisan. That's how I get elected in a state like Ohio, which people say is trending more conservative and Republican. It's how we get things done. But this is a bipartisan plan that President Biden has put out there and the House has passed. Overwhelming support among the public, overwhelming support among Republicans on making sure on eliminating, cutting the rate of poverty through earned income tax credit and child tax credit in half, and opening our schools and providing, putting money in people's pockets with unemployment, with the $1,400. All those things are very bipartisan. Just because Senate Republicans don't support it doesn't make it partisan. What's bipartisan is the public support for it to go big. And one other point, Janet Yellen, Secretary of the Treasury, said, if we don't go big, there will be a long-term, I believe she said, generational scarring of our economy. So we can't fall short here. We need to go big with wages, with help for people, with money in people's pockets, and workers in these jobs.
You know, it's an uncomfortable stat, though. There was a bipartisan vote against, technically, this relief bill. Not a single House Republican joined the Democrats, but 2 Democrats joined Republicans in opposing. And I know there's Washington, and there's what we've seen in this polling that you're citing. I've seen those same numbers, too. What's your explanation of why Washington Republicans can't get on board?
Well, the Washington elite are doing it's become a Trump party. It's not a party of reason. It's a party that has turned its back. Mitch McConnell all summer in June and July and August and September and October, as thousands of people were starting to fall into poverty after we did it right back in March, Mitch McConnell continued to say he sees no sense of urgency. So the Republicans failed. They failed for 10 years. They failed to raise the minimum wage. They failed to provide the kind of help we need. We know what works. We know going big, making government works is the best way to strengthen our democracy. Because, I mean, we know that anti-democratic small d feelings are built on income inequality, and if the gap gets wider and wider in wealth and income inequality and structural racism in this country, we know that we have social problems. We have things like what happened on January 6th, and we've got to make sure that we build democracy by closing income inequality and wealth inequality, and the Biden package goes big and does that.
The Senate parliamentarian ruled against including the minimum wage in this COVID relief bill. Obviously, a lot of your fellow progressives are not happy about this. Many of your fellow Democrats aren't. But you don't have the 50 votes to get rid of the filibuster or to overrule the parliamentarian. So what do you tell progressives about how much patience they should have?
Oh, I don't think we have patience. Democrats are united in giving a raise. The last time the Senate voted for a higher minimum wage, it was my first month in office. It was the first speech I gave on the Senate floor. It was so long ago that the presiding officer was a first-term Illinois senator by the name of Barack Obama. He was presiding over the Senate. That's how long ago this was. Since we've raised the minimum wage, the Republicans have failed to do it. We're going to raise wages. We're going to find a way to do it. I'm not going to negotiate on Meet the Press, as prestigious as this longest serving show, whatever it is.
I appreciate it.
But we're going to make this
We'll
happen.
host it.
We're going to find a way. It's just too important not to.
So you think this is something that can be negotiated across the aisle as well? That, that this isn't about starting to campaign to Joe Manchin to say nuke the filibuster?
No, I will find a way. I mean, Senator Wyden, the leader of the Finance Committee, I'm on that committee with Senator Whitehouse and Senator Bennett and others who have fought for the child tax credit and earned income tax credit, all of these issues. We will figure out a way to do this because, again, Democrats are united in raising wages. The corporate elite, the far right elite in Washington have blocked it year after year after year after year, and we're going to make it happen.
On the decision by President Biden to release the intelligence report on Jamal Khashoggi and what happened there, that fingers the Crown Prince in Saudi Arabia as making this, is basically facilitating and ordering this hit on this journalist. Do you think President Biden is not punishing Saudi Arabia enough over this, and MBS in particular?
Well, no way should we ever tolerate assassination or any kind of violence aimed at an American journalist. The President Biden has called it out. We need to make sure we make the Saudis, and particularly the Saudi royal member of the royal family or members of the royal family, we need to make them accountable. We'll see what President
Doesn't sound
Biden
like we're going to, though. It doesn't sound like we are going to do that.
I don't think that's a definitive end of story decision. We're talking to the White House, so are others. We need to hold any foreign authoritarian like the royal family, some of the members of the royal family. We need to hold them accountable. We need to figure out how to do it and move quickly.
Senator Sherrod Brown, Democrat from Ohio, the chairman of the Senate Banking Committee. Thank you for coming on here and sharing your perspective with us, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Chuck, I want one real quick thing. We call it now the Senate Banking and Housing Committee because this committee has been all about banking, and it's going to be more and more about housing in the years ahead. So I'm not correcting you. I explained.
You got it. No. Good to know. And the next time we have you on, I look forward to talking some housing with you as well, sir. So thank you for doing that.
Ron, for sure.
You got it.